Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th episode of Blender tutorial series. In this session we will learn about the animation. So let's get started. So let's delete our default cube and add in a icosphere. If we expand this, we will see our timeline. So this is where we play the animation. As you can see, we have a start and end frame. And if we click on here and here, we will jump to first and last frame. We can change the end frame to here and navigate to any frame just like this. So let's jump to first frame and this is the play button. So as you can see, this will play to 200th of the frame. And if you press this, this will play in reverse. Let's go to the first frame. So I will click on over here to particle settings and add in a particle. So as you can see here we have a particle added to our icosphere. And if I click on play, you can see that the particle is emitting from our icosphere. The number of particle is 1000 just over here. You can change this to let's say 20,000. And if you play it now, you can see 20,000 particles will emit from our icosphere. You can change the seed. This is just a random value to get a different randomized result. This is the start frame and end frame of the emitter. So a particle, for example, is generating at the 60th frame and its lifetime is 50. So it will disappear in 110th frame. For example, if I change this to 100, so the particle will stay till 100 frame. Now let's change this to 50,000 and change the lifetime to maybe 80 and play this. So as you can see, 50,000 particles are now emitting from the icosphere. And now instead of an emitter, this round emitter, I want another icosphere to emit from our default icosphere. So for that, I will add in an icosphere and put the subdivision as 1, move it over here. And I will scale this down, put it aside. And now in particle settings, I will scroll down. So if you can see, you can expand each of the settings like source, rotation, velocity. Let's add in the rotation and this value will randomize the rotation of the particles. This will randomize the phase. Under render settings, we have render as halo. Let's change that to object. And under instance object, let's put the icosphere 001. And now if we play it, so instead of that round emitter, we have now icosphere emitting from our default icosphere. And if we increase and decrease the size of this will affect the emitter in our scene like this. You can also change the scale from here, and you can change the scale randomization from here. And now let's see the fundamentals of the animation. So for that I will delete everything and add in a plane, scale it, and add in a cube, scale it and move it on somewhere y-axis or something. So this is the properties of the cube, the location, rotation and the scale. We can animate any properties of the cube. So for example, let's move the cube to y-axis over here for 200 frames. So I will go to the Y location over here and click on this animate property. This is called adding a key. And in the last frame, in the 200th frame, as you can see, I have added a key on first frame. So in the 200th frame, I want my cube over here. So as you can see, the Y value has changed and I will lock the keyframe like this. And if you go to first frame and play it, so as you can see, for 200 frame, our cube will move to our final position. Similarly, you can animate the X and Z axis also. So let's animate the X axis, and I want my cube to be somewhere over here, and I will lock it. And now if we play it and see on the top view, so as you can see, this is going in both X and Y direction. Similarly, you can rotate the X, Y and Z axis of the cube. Similarly, let's rotate the cube in X, Y and Z axis. So as you can see, our cube is now moving in X and Y direction, and it's also rotating in X, Y and Z direction. So this is how you basically animate anything in Blender. You can change the start and end frame over here as well. You can change the frame rate as well. By default, it's 24 FPS, and if we change to 60 FPS, what will happen is in a single second, it will cover 60 frames. So if you have a 200 frame scene in 60 FPS, it will be somewhere like a 2-second video. And for example, the frame rate is 30 FPS. So the final scene video will be around 5 to 6 seconds. And in output settings, you can select the output folder, and you can select the file format as FFmpeg video or PNG. I would recommend you to use the PNG format because, for example, if your Blender stucks in between of the process of rendering, you don't have to render your scene from beginning. If you select the PNG, every frame will be converted into a PNG image. In this example, 200 PNG images. For example, your Blender is stuck at 120th frame. So you can close all the tasks and reopen your Blender and start rendering it from 121st frame. So this will save a lot of time. And to convert all of those images into a video, you can select the file format as FFmpeg and go to video sequencer over here. Go to the first frame and you can add in all of your images as a sequence over here and render it. It will take like 1 or 2 minutes to render everything. So this is a pretty cool technique. So this is the scene that we had. And as you can see, our icosphere is emitting the small icosphere. And we don't want this to be this simple. So for that, let's add in a force field and select harmonic and scale it somewhere like this. So what force field do is it creates a force around your particles. In this case, the harmonic field will create the harmonic particles around your scene. So let's put the strength to 50 and play it. And as you can see, it's doing some weird stuff. That's because the shape of the harmonic field is a point. If we change this to a line and play it, you will see it will go around the line. I will scale the particle like this because it's too small. And now in harmonic settings, I will change the shape to plane. And now when we play it, so as you can see, this is still moving around the icosphere. That's because in the source under the particle settings, the emit from is selected as faces. And if you select this as vertices and click on play, it will look something like this. And now to expand it on all 360 degrees, we will change the damping value from 1 to 0. And now when we play it, as you can see, it starts to look something like a harmonic wave around all direction. But still it looks weird. So for that, I will add in another force field called turbulence and increase the strength to 50. And now when we play it, so this starts to do some cool things like this. You can play with the turbulence and harmonic force field settings and make your own waves. And let's put some materials on it. So for that, in rendered view, I will change the color to complete black and make sure you are in EV engine. And in shading tab, I will select my particle and click on new. Remove this principled BSDF and add in an emission. And plug the emission to surface. So this will emit the light, whatever color we select over here. So I will select something yellow and change the strength to 50. And now if we play it, as you can see, this looks pretty cool. And in settings, I will click on bloom. So this will give the additional effect which we want. So now if we play it, this is the perfect scene which we were looking for. So this is how you animate things in Blender. I will decrease the end frame to 150. And as you can see, the particles are emitting amazingly. And since we put the lifetime to 80, the particles are disappearing after the 80th frame. So our scene is ready now. All that's left is to do some color settings and set up our camera. So you can select the look whatever you want. I will select the medium high contrast, or you can select none as well, and play with the exposure and gamma. For me, the default settings looks good. I will change the exposure to 0.5 and the gamma looks okay, I guess. Since we are working on Eevee, you don't have to change the tile size. You just have to change the render samples. Eevee is much faster than Cycle, so changing the samples to maybe 200 or 300 won't affect your render timing much. And as we discussed, I will render this on PNG and then convert it into the video. So I will save it, and this won't render because I don't have a camera. So let's add in a camera to our scene. I will select this angle and add in the camera and press Ctrl Alt 0 and press W to zoom out. So this angle looks good. And now let's try to animate the camera as well. So for that, I will select the camera and go to properties, and I will animate the X, Y, and Z. So in the last frame, I want to move in my camera somewhere over here, and I will lock the keyframes. And now if I play this, it will look something like this, which looks pretty cool. So it's your wish to animate the camera or not. And if you are done with the settings, press Ctrl F12 to render your scene. As I have put 150 frames, so 150 images will be created. And once you are done with it, go to video sequencer, and add in all of your image. Click on A and click on add image strip. So here it will show how many images you have. Set the end frame to that number. I just have 81 images to show you as a tutorial, but you can do it on 200 frames as well. And just render your animation by clicking on Ctrl F12. So it will look something like this. You can play with the particle settings, you can play with the force field settings and come up with better results if you want. So this is how we do animation in Blender. I hope you learned something out of this. In our next session, we will learn about the physics properties in Blender, which is super fun. So subscribe the channel if you want to get a notification about it. Thank you for all the support. I will see you in the next one.